Welcome back to this reading of Alabaster, Dangermond, and the Serpent's Blade. This is Chapter 3, Cold-Blooded Murder. Al felt a rush of adrenaline course through his veins as he stepped into the wood-paneled hallway of the huge mansion. Turnkey and Marianne were waiting for him. "Al, what happened?" Marianne asked. "What? Huh? Oh," he mumbled, looking up and down at his friends and his watch. "Yo, man. What happened with the chief? Are you staying here?" Yeah, TK, he let me stay. Hey, can you give me a minute? I just got this email from someone and I need to check it." "Yeah, sure, homie. Me and Marianne are heading outside. She wants to teach me some new things in tennis. You gonna join us?" Marianne smiled at both of them. Al kept looking at his watch. Yeah, just let me check on this and I'll come find you two, cool?" "Sure, man." Turnkey and Marianne headed down a different hallway toward the tennis courts outside. Al moved over to a corner bench in the hallway and sat down. Looking at his watch, he opened the email. "Greetings, Alabaster. Your parents had something to say, and I've attached a short video clip for you to enjoy. Sorry it doesn't have any sound, but that was the best I could do. If you show anyone, I will kill you and your precious friends, starting with Turnkey. I know who you are and what you do at that school. Sincerely, ZM." ZM? Who is that? There was an attached video file. Alabaster clicked the file, and the video played on his watch screen. He moved over to a corner in the hall where it was a little darker so he could see it better. Al's stomach flipped over as he watched his mom and dad get pushed through a door into a room with glass walls. The camera angle was looking down obliquely from a corner inside the glass room. In the lower left corner of the video, a timestamp was dated September 24th, 7 years ago. There was no audio stream, just video. But they died in a car wreck on June 1st of that year. How could they have been alive after they died? Al could make out a table in the room with a contraption on top of it. As he watched, his shoulders tightened. Both his parents, Thomas and Cynthia Dangermond, stared at the table, and then he saw a timer switch on. The camera angle zoomed closer, and he could see it was a bomb with a countdown timer. Al's throat tightened, and he swallowed hard. 3 minutes to go. His mom turned and looked up as if someone were talking to them. Then she turned and looked at the device. It had 4 tubes of liquid attached to a black box. She turned and yelled something, but Alabaster couldn't make out what it was. It was hard to follow without sound. He saw his parents work quickly to get the main panel off. His mom looked at his dad, but he didn't say anything. "Come on, Dad," Al said under his breath. His dad almost had the cover off, but it looked like some fasteners were preventing him from accessing the interior. Al watched the first tube dispense its liquid into the black panel box. Sweat began to form on Al's forehead, and he wiped it away with the back of his wrist. His mom mouthed the word, "Here," as she took off her eyeglasses. He watched his dad give a twist to one arm of the glasses, and something like a screwdriver appeared on the end. They smiled at each other. Al hadn't seen his dad or mom smile since he was 7 years old. He wished he could be with them again. His dad didn't waste any time unscrewing the panel to access the interior. As his mom moved to the side, Al's stomach sickened. He could see the whole thing was rigged with plastic C4 explosives, enough to vaporize them if it went off. Al jumped into bomb squad mode. His extensive training included all sorts of weapons and demolition. As a prep school for the CIA, junior agents had to be ready for anything. Turnkey was by far the best among the agents at bomb disposal, but Alabaster was proficient enough. "Come on, Dad. Cut the right wires." His dad shook his head as the second tube dropped its liquid into the box. Both his parents worked diligently on the bomb, but Al could tell from their body movements that someone was speaking to them beyond the view of the camera. When his dad moved to the side, Al saw several different colored wires formed into two cords from the central container, each leading to metal sticks in the C4. Watching his dad work, Al's mom looked up to the ceiling and said something. Al could see her lips move, but he didn't know what she said. It was so frustrating to see their lips move but not hear them. Al couldn't remember what his parents sounded like. He had no frame of reference, and he didn't own any videos of them. The third tube funneled its liquid into the box. His parents consulted again, and this time they contemplated something. His dad looked at his mom and mouthed the word yes as the fourth tube dropped its liquid into the container. The timer was under 60 seconds to go. Al's heart was pounding in his chest. "Come on, get it, Dad," Al said in the hallway aloud. No one was around. His dad used the snips from the other side of his mom's eyeglasses to cut through the wires connected to the C4. The timer didn't stop. His dad reached out his hand to his mom, and they stood there watching the bomb as Al watched the countdown. 3, 2, 1, 0. Nothing. Nothing happened. After a long pause, it looked like someone was talking to his parents from their body movements. He saw his mom start talking to the ceiling again, but couldn't see her lips except for a few words as she moved her head back and forth while talking. It looked like she said, "done," or "game." His mom turned to look at his dad and stood there staring at him for a while. Al watched his mom look up to the ceiling of the glass room and say something clear and slow while she held his dad's hand. It looked like, "We don't have the stone." We don't have the stone? After a moment, he watched his mom shout to the ceiling, "No!" and his dad grabbed her with a hug and whispered something to her. Al's head started to hurt, and he felt hot. He wanted to feel his parents' arms around him again. His mom pulled slightly away, and Al could see her say, "I love you too." Then a massive burst of white smoke flooded into the glass room, causing their bodies to collapse to the floor. "No!" Al shouted. He watched his parents, their hands clasped, close their eyes forever. Then the video ended. Al collapsed to his knees in tears. He had just watched the murder of his parents. He felt empty and alone, and waves of hurt rushed through his mind. Teardrops fell and formed puddles on the wood planks where he knelt. Unaware how long he sobbed, he heard a high-pitched voice. "Alabaster Dangermond? What troubles you?" He didn't answer, and he could hardly see anything around him. The old man leaned down next to Al and did the oddest thing. At least, Al thought it was the oddest thing. The man used his long white braided beard and dabbed Al's eyes, catching the tears as they fell. "It will be all right, Agent Dangermond. This, too, shall soon pass." Because of the oddity, the pace of Al's tears lessened and soon stopped altogether. Al wiped the dripping snot from his nose with the back of his hand and turned to look at the old man next to him. "Sensei Zu, my parents," Al snapped his mouth shut. The warning on the email had said not to tell anyone. "Yes?" the old Chinese man asked the teen agent. But Al remained silent and just stared ahead, feeling a wave of exhaustion. "It appears you must rest, Agent Dangermond. I will call for an escort to take you to your room, and I will alert the chief that you will be absent from my martial arts class today. Your mind must rest now, and we can talk tomorrow about your parents." Chen Chen Shu radioed from his wristwatch bracelet for some assistance, and a couple of boys came and helped Alabaster back to the dormitory room he shared with Turnkey. Al couldn't do anything but lay on his bed thinking about the email. Who sent it? The killer? Why? How could his parents have died 4 months after they were declared dead from an automobile accident? He lay lost in a mire of thoughts until exhaustion brought his mind to rest. He fell asleep asking, why did they have to die? That concludes Chapter 3. Next, we'll pick up with Chapter 4, Brothers. Thanks. Bye.